What's going on, boys? What is happening? Long time no see. If you're catching up, and you're watching this on YouTube, then welcome. And if you're here live, what's going on, Kebab? What's going on, Gaza? Thought I'd do a little stream tonight because I haven't done a video in a while, and I've been doing some bits today. I need to do some bits before the deadline, and I need some help building some lineups. So, Rasmus, who won the giveaway? It was a guy. I posted it on Twitter. I forget his name. I don't know if I can find it. I don't know how active I've actually been on Twitter. Um, let me see. Let me see. A guy called Doc Morris won it and then immediately sold it. So, fair enough. Nice little. I think he sold it for about £60. So fair play to him. Fair play. Yeah, let me just transition over. You'll see. Yeah, this fella here, Docky Morris won it. Fair play to him though. I mean, he ain't got a massive gallery, so might help him out and all that. Might help him out. I couldn't find the photo. I couldn't find the little thumbnail or anything like that. What's going on, Jack? Welcome, mate. Yeah, I couldn't find a thumbnail, so I just found this in my gallery, and there you go. That's when I posted about Zelarayan. Remember when he left? It still pains me. Still makes me cry. Still makes me upset. But yeah, a few things I want to do. I'll let you guys know what I've done today because I sold some stuff. And yeah, sold some bits and pieces. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen, by the way? Because the internet. Oh, you can, because I can see what you're seeing. Fair enough. Yeah, obviously what's going on with the storms and everything is fucking mad. So because I'm in my garden office down here. Signal is sometimes cutting out and everything, but I think it's all right. I think the stream's good. If you guys can hear me and see my screen and see me, then yeah, just let me know. That would be appreciated. But I'll get sort of right into it. Where am I going? I'm going to my gallery. So yeah, I've done a few things today. What's going? Cheers, kebab. I've done a few things today, boys. What did I do? Well, I won 2 little rewards, right? From Champion Europe and All Star, I think it was. And let me start with the game week as well, actually. That'll probably make a bit more sense. And then we'll get into the kind of building and, as I said, some buying. Game week just gone. This is how we got on. So my All Star Rare Plus, I was so this is this game week. Basically, just weren't great. It was a 4-man lineup. I just threw it out there. You never know. If everyone scored 80 or something like that, then I could have maybe nicked a tier 3 because the people playing was actually really, really low this week. But what I want to talk to you about is the week before. So I bought Kingsley Coman, as I done a video on it. And a decent turnout from the champion. It's first time ever time playing Champion Europe. I thought that there was some good matchups here, and I thought, why not just go for it? And then on Friday night, Garcia played, and I put him as captain, and he had the little assist. I think it was like the 91st minute, which was good. And I was watching the game, so it was quite exciting to watch. Palacios coming with an all-round like dominant performance, and then Coman got in an 8-0. He only got 1 decisive, which is, it's a bit gutting, really. 1 decisive when he's a forward, and then he come off, and I think he had a bit of an injury, but he is back now, so we'll come on to that when we come to lineup building. But Bayer Leverkusen couldn't keep the clean sheet. Now, if they did keep the clean sheet, it's probably another 40 points. And then where am I? I'm probably a solid tier 3 there, a solid tier 3. So whatever, decent performance though. But this is the one that really kind of pissed me off because 375 points with 4 cards, 4 players, and I didn't know that Johnny Russell was not going to play. I don't think anyone did. I don't know if anyone else got caught out by it, but got caught out by it. Even if he would have scored like a 40, that would have put me in again a tier 2. Like a solid tier 2 as well. So it's a little bit unfortunate there. But hey, what can you do? Gross come in, he's actually gone now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. He's actually gone, but Tolu actually come up trumps a little bit, 97.3, and Fry made some banging saves as well for Seattle. So a little bit gutted there to miss out on a card, but the All Star boys, they done all right for me. Got me a little tier 4, which I'll show you who that is in a minute. Yeah, did I see that? Did I watch that game? I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I did. It come over and then back post. Somebody just followed it in the top corner against USG, so that was annoying. But Munoz and Pancil both scored, and Herrera doing what Herrera does best as well. Another bit of an annoying lineup when you think about it, actually, because look, I was 3 points off of a tier 3. I think you can just about see that, yeah, off a tier 3 again, and Carlos Hill come off injured, didn't he? So that was a bit fucking annoying as well. Come off after, what was it, 20 minutes? So it could have been a game week, could have been one of my best yet in terms of how, like, quantity of rewards, but it wasn't to be. And then this was just some sort of kickoff super thing that I just threw out there. And obviously love it's in putting him in a lineup where it basically doesn't matter and no one gives a shit. Obviously he goes and pulls out a decisive as well, but it is what it is. Cap 240 I didn't get. Didn't get. Weren't really expecting. Obviously, Victor's just coming back. This guy, I think it's the first time I've actually played him, but he's gone now. Ian Murphy, he's gone as well. And Dalot's gone. Pretty much half of that lineup or a bit more is actually gone from the gallery. So what did I win? I won this guy. I won Lukic, Sasa, or Saska, however you pronounce that with the little accent above the S. Yeah, I won him. I've watched him a few times in the Premier League, and he's not too bad, to be honest with you. But I weren't ever really going to play him. I might have played him in the cap mode, but then I didn't know if he was going to start all the time or not. So, yeah, sorry, I'm just checking old WhatsApp on another screen. Didn't know if he was going to start when for Fulham or if he's going to hold down a place or whatever. So I just thought might as well get a tenner for him. And then I won this guy. And did he play last night, by the way? Oh, he come on a sub. Yeah, I wanted to check that. So he come off the back of a 95. What inflated a little bit. If we just check his price graph, you can see here that a few people actually went ahead and picked him up. What's going on, Sorare Spy? Yeah, I am good, mate. I hope you are as well. I hope you are, mate. A few people picked him up and probably the ideal time to sell. I can't remember what he was going for. Like 0.02 for a player who basically just does not play. I don't know why people bought into him. Anyway, I basically made threshold by getting rid of those couple of players. So what I done was sold them to Basilbot. As I said, pretty much got like the equivalent of threshold for it. So fair enough. And then I picked up this guy, Niang. Now you might be thinking, why the fuck have you picked up this guy when your gallery's kind of got people like Munoz in it and Carlos Hill and pretty big cards and scorers. Come on. Sorry, I'm a bit tired, boys. A bit tired, I know. Well, I've not been. What's the right way? I've been neglecting Cap 240, I think. Since I've been playing Cap 240, like when it come out and they switched over, I think I've only hit the threshold like twice or something, because I'm always putting my lineups or my best players into All-Star and All-Star Rare Pro, which obviously most people do. But I think that I'm missing out on just, if I can hit 2 or 3 per month in terms of ETH, that does equate for a lot. And I think that I'm just, I need to start prioritizing it. I need to get some players in there where I'm not just kind of patching together some absolute bottom of the fucking trolley shit that I'm putting into a lineup. I need to put into a lineup that a potential of decisives and a potential of getting me that threshold. So I come across this guy when I was looking at some super rares for Adana. And I've looked at Kevin Rodriguez, I think like a stream maybe a couple of months ago, I was looking at Kevin Rodriguez as well. But also Belhanda, I've been looking at Ndai, which I'll come on to as well, because I might pick him up like kind of live on this stream. But Niang, he's just come over from the French league. I know that he's potentially going to be battling a little bit with Balotelli, but you can see here when Balotelli come on, I think Niang must have switched over to the left wing and then Balotelli come up, because you ain't going to ask Balotelli to do a job running up and down, are you? I mean, come on, he's lazier than fucking, don't know what the metaphor is or simile is for it, but yeah, I've picked up Niang. I think that when he started for Adana, yeah, when he started, he's actually done okay. You know, he's come up with a few goals. What's that? 6 goals since he's been there in 7 games. And because he has this up and down, I thought that he would be a really good threshold player for me. And also Turkish league, they carry on over Christmas, right? So hopefully I can get some utility out of him there, and get some threshold in over Christmas. So I picked him up, and the trade that I got him for was, I mean, you can see there, it's just a whole heap of shit, basically. I think the only player in there that's any good, well, there's not really, is there? Ian Murphy, because he was young. Rosito, I think he's a little bit underrated, this guy. I know his scores don't suggest it, but in terms of a threshold player, in terms of how cheap he is, I think that he's all right. I might even, if I delve into cap 240 like super rare next year, I might even try and pick him up as a super rare, because he's quite cheap. But yeah, a whole heap of shit that I just got rid of, and then a tiny bit of ETH on top to get this guy in. And I don't think he's ever going to be over an L15 of like 50, which will obviously work in my favor in terms of a threshold player. You can see here, you can have some really bottom end like appearances, and it might even work in my favor a little bit that he's competing with Balotelli, and every now and again he gets subbed just to keep him below, as low as possible in that L15, but also having them spikes. So yeah, I picked him up. And then I also, Kebab says, when you say he plays over Christmas, you just need, that fucking symbol. You just need other guys that play also. Yeah, and this is why I'll come on to it, kind of who I might pick up in a minute as well. I need a few more players. So from the Premier League potentially, or from the Turkish League, from the same team, that sort of stuff. So there are a couple of players that I think that are cheap and will do a good job for me in terms of threshold. So we'll come on to those in a little while, mate. And then I woke up this morning, and there was a guy that I follow on Twitter, in the MLS Discord as well. I chat to him quite a bit, and he sold one of his rewards quite quickly to Sorare. Now, apparently, this guy, he's not a bot as such, but if you want him to make you an offer for some decent cards, then he does. And basically, these 4 cards here that are in the middle, I thought to myself, well, Johnny Russell, I don't know what's going to be going on with Johnny Russell. Let me just open up all 4 of them and we can talk about them. I don't know what's going on with him. That's probably wrong to say. I should have bought him, but he's had a bad season. In terms of injuries, he's been carrying like a groin or a hamstring injury, one of the two, for a long period of time. So if we look back, in Sporting, you can see what type of player he is. From an all-round standpoint, from an MLS forward, you can't really ask for much more in terms of he takes all the sets and stuff. But his price was going down and down. His contract does run out at the end of the season. Because he's been having these niggles, I didn't know what was going on. I could easily buy him back. I mean, he's quite cheap, obviously. But if I do buy him back again, I might think about his super rare from an AA standpoint, depending on where he ends up, or maybe even renews. I don't know. But I included him because, as I said, he was going for cheap, and I think that I can use that elsewhere. And then Diego Dallo. Now, I bought him. You can see that I bought him here. A little bit disappointed, but as we know, right, Man United have just been, they're just having a bit of a tough time, and I don't feel sorry for them at all. But I know what they're going through, because obviously Spurs went through it for a good few years. But good job that Big Angie's back in the house, and not that he's back at White Hart Lane, but you know what I mean. He's there and he's doing some bits for us. And when I picked Dallo up, I was thinking, some Portugal utility, etc. And he done all right for me. When did I pick him up? Probably around about here. So he did do all right, but he won me nothing. And um, I was thinking to myself now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because I watched the game last night. Now Wan-Bissaka is back, which means that his position could be at risk. Now, what I think will probably happen is Dalot goes left back, and then Wan-Bissaka comes in as right back. That's probably what's going to happen. But I didn't want to take that risk. There was an auction coming up for him as well. I was trying to sell him, and I couldn't get anyone to buy on him when I was listing him up. So I thought, you know what, let's get him out. Eric Tommy, so similar to with Russell, I decided to get him out as well because for 0.035 or whatever he would have sold for, well, not even that, say like 0.025, I can get somebody else in that's going to get me threshold, and one threshold between now and when they come back. Like, you know, I'll be making my money back, obviously. So I thought, I do like him though, but again, I think it's a super rare standpoint. And I'm saying that about everybody, but because he has these little spikes, it could work out well, like Tolu, like Lovitz, like those sort of players that I've got in my gallery. But I do like him. But see you later. And then Pascal Gross, I never really planned too much to pick him up. The reason why I got him in the first place is because I was trying to sell Bongo. I was trying to get him out, and nobody was biting, and it looks like still nobody's kind of taken a punt on this guy. Oh, maybe around that price, which is the price that Gross has been at for a long time. So I thought if I could trade him out, then I could get Gross in, use him for a game week or so. And he nearly obviously won me, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, he nearly won me something in the All-Star Rare Plus. I don't know why they called it Plus. I know everyone said it, but what a fucking shit name that is. Yeah, he nearly done something for me, but again, he wasn't somebody that I was top of my list to bring into the gallery, but I still think that he's a good player. So all four of those, cutting a long, probably boring story short, but while some other people jump on, then we might as well talk to about it. I got 0.155. Now, if we look at that in terms of cash and averages, it's 0.04 cheaper. I just realized that Dalot's last auction went for basically like 40% cheaper than what I paid for him. So that's probably worked in my favor as well. And I think that the next sale for Gross is probably going to be about 0.07 anyway. So let's get that ETH in there, and so I can have a little bit of a spend up. So yeah, so that's what I've done. So I've got a little bit of ETH, and the person that I was thinking about bringing in, and I'll show lineups next because that will show the gaps that I basically need to fill before tomorrow, if the right card comes up, right? But let me show you. So again, coming back on like this Turkish league and a really low L15 is Ndiaye, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm going to call him Ndiaye. I didn't realize sort of how good this player was, to be honest. So if we look at him, even in terms of all, and we just go by Adana, he's a really solid player. He's almost like Gross to a certain point, but I think he has a little bit more spike in him. I don't know if anyone in chat knows about this guy, and maybe I'm just like absolutely lacking in term of knowledge, but I do know from the Turkish league, like I'm not 100% on the Turkish league. I'll be learning as I go. I know a couple of the big teams, obviously, but yeah, he's a really solid option, and to have that L15 for a good couple of games, even if he scores like an 80, I still think his average must be around what? Quick maths, maybe 40, 46, 47, something like that. So I can get a couple of game weeks out of him. And then after that, I do need a challenger midfielder anyway. So I could always play him in a challenger competition if these are the things that he's going to be turning out with. And then looking a bit further into this team, yes, I've said before, Kevin Rodriguez. So he takes some of their sets and he spikes again, which is decent. And also another person is Belhanda. Now again, if anyone in chat knows much about this guy, then let me know. But again, look at his scores. He takes their set pieces. I know he's been on an absolute shitter at the moment, but he takes some of their sets. Scott Marshall, be interested to see if Ndai continues to play when Akbaba is back. He was out the last game, which is why he started. Oh, fair enough. Let's have a look at this guy, Akbaba. Oh, there he is. So, all right, he was suspended. So he's back this weekend. I mean, he's a good player as well. Like, what's he going for? 0.03, L15 is up. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if he starts. But if he's got scores like that before he was injured, surely he does. I mean, whose position did he take? I mean, although saying that, he played with Akbaba last game, no? This is the last game, right? Yeah, the 28th. So who did he come off for? Who come on? Stambouli. Let's have a quick look at play sharper. So I'm assuming Stambouli comes in for Akbaba if he's suspended, right? So Turkey. Have a look. Adana. There you go. Yeah, so you got Niang starting up top, which is good. Got Belhanda starting as well, 90%, and then Ndai and then Stambouli. So it looks like Ndai, whoever this kind of expert is gonna come back in. Oh, there you go. All right. Okay. So he seems to think as Ndai is going to be the DM probably in future. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, Scott, that he comes in. Yeah. So you could almost. Adana have been great at home, but I'm a bit wary of their away form. Best home form in the league, but not one away in their first 4 away games. Good knowledge. Good knowledge. Let's have a look at their form then, because I do want to pick up that Ndaya. Is it still on the market? Let's check. Oh, do you know what? Someone bought it. Just bought it off the floor 3 hours ago. Fuck's sake. Although I might be able to get him to buy it on it, because he was trying to sell it the other time. Who's this guy? He's putting together a fresh old team, isn't he? Yeah. All right, fair play to him. Fair play. But what was we looking at? We was looking at the home form, wasn't we? For what it's worth, oh, nice. But with Belhanda, I mean, what's his situation? I mean, is it risk because he's been pretty shocking, hasn't he? The last few games, and also his contract expires at the end of this season. So, what do you think? Do you think they'll re-sign him? What was we doing? Away form and home form. Yeah, home form very good. 3 clean sheets on the bounce. Away form, yeah, pretty shit. If I remember though, I had a few Sivasspor players last season, and they're not great. Fenerbahce is obviously a tough game. I'm sure they're about 19th in the league. I'm sure they're last, maybe. Galatasaray are tough, and then got some good fixtures. So I would say in the next few games, he has got some decent fixtures, and surely, excuse me, if he's getting like 66 points for me, surely I can get close, if not hit threshold. He should have had some DAs in the previous game I saw. There's some chance and he missed some sitters. Okay. I think he stays past next season. I mean, I suppose if I'm just going for threshold, it almost pays for itself anyway, right? I mean, what's his L15? L15's 54. Okay. All right. I either pick him up and die in K-Rod. Maybe I'll pick them all up and just fucking put them in a stack and hopefully they smash. So I was looking at you can't see it because of my camera, I don't think. But his super rare is 0.32. Now I know that I think Rock, like another creator, I think he sold his super rare recently. That's just come on the market. He does swaps and bundles as well. So I was looking at that, but I don't know if he carries on like past next year, because super rares are a little bit different. You know, we're looking at like, what's that, £500 or something to pay for his super rare. But yeah. Anyway, how did people get on in their game week? Did you get any decent rewards? Yeah, any smasher lineups, anything like that? Let me know, boys. Let me know. You know, it's a bit annoying on YouTube Live, and I don't know whether that's the be all and end all why people actually um stream on Twitch, but you can't play music on YouTube Live. You get like copyright strikes and shit. It's really annoying, because I think sometimes, like, when you ask a question like that, you just sit here like, you're sort of waiting. You don't want to move on because in case somebody answers your question, you know. So you've got nothing just filling the air apart from my breathing. Lineup building. So this is what I'm cooking so far, boys. Right. So the one on the right here that you can't see, so that's Champion Europe that I'm entering in. So this is what it looks like, and this is where I do need a bit of help because I do have some gaps, and I don't know if I'm putting them in the right place at the moment. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. So for Champion Europe, we've got Kingsley Coman up there. Obviously, it's a tough fixture against Dortmund, but with Javik, they don't allow royalty-free music either. I don't think they do. I'm sure that when I watched Haber's first stream about Sorare, he was having music in, and he played like a royalty-free one on Spotify, and I'm sure it flagged up, and then he just was just like, oh well, fuck it, I'll just carry on then. But I probably need to do a little bit more detail, a little bit more research on it. But yeah, it would be nice to play some music, wouldn't it? Just to get the vibes going. But yeah, I've gone for the Bayer Leverkusen sort of stack at the bottom there. Grimaldo, obviously AAA fixture against Hoffenheim. So, and they're away. Obviously, they're playing like really fucking well at the moment, and Grimaldo is absolutely smashing it. But if they concede, obviously it's almost that game over anyway. It's almost what happened this game week. But yeah, we've got the Leverkusen boys in there. We know Palacios is an AAB, Heredecki. I'm calling him that, but I think it's Heredecki. But yeah, they're there. And then we've got Koeman. They're coming off the back of a defeat against like the third division in Germany. So I'm expecting him to start because he was sub last game and then come on, I think, for like 10 minutes or whatever it was. But he should be starting against Dortmund. And we know that he can get some AA and stuff. So it's a bit of a tough game. But hopefully they bounce back and Bayern Munich actually do something. They need to get rid of Tuchel. I don't get him as a manager. I didn't get him in the Premier League. I don't even know what his kind of ethos is, the style that he plays, how he wants to play. I don't think he's a people's person. I don't really know why Bayern Munich signed him and got him in. I think the previous manager was fucking way better. Way better. And then we got Garcia in there as well. They're away to, who's that? Osasuna, I think. Is it Osasuna? Or is my knowledge of badges fucking terrible as well? Yeah, it's Osasuna. So he's away from home, but he's in good form and he takes all their sets, as we know. So what do you think of that lineup? I mean, I'm getting a 77, which is a very strong lineup. It's won some rewards in the past for me. I mean, there it would have got me second, which is pretty mad, that lineup. But is that strong enough, do you think, to compete in Champion Europe? I mean, I hope so. but put that in the back of your head. And then we'll move on to the next one and see if I'm actually playing people in the right place. So after that, not that was the first lineup that I put together. The first lineup I put together was All-Star, but with Champion Europe in the back of my mind, so I kind of held them off. Is this team. So again, it's a it's a really mixed sort of bag for me this week. We got Twente with a decent matchup against Utrecht, but they are away from home. So Gaza, I don't know what you think about that. If you're still in there, whether you think it's likely for a clean sheet there for the 20 boys, because I've got Proper in there as well with Unastall. And then I've got the Genk boys in there, but they've got a really tough game against Antwerp. And Antwerp are good defensively with, Toby Alderweireld at the back, and Boutez as well in goal. And then we've got Herrera with a triple A fixture, but again, he's away from home, and we know that he smashes at home. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. They're all away from home. But when you look at them individually, they're all capable of 80 plus. They're all capable of decisives. So it looks all right, I think. I think it looks okay. And then after that, I mean, my All-Star Rare Plus, I mean, I'll just show you, but my two Super Rares that I've got playing this week, they're not great. Yes, Tolo did come off the back of a 97 or something, but again, he's away from home. Now, I know that Velasco, if anyone's got Velasco for Dallas, I think he's done his ACL. I think he's out for a while. So that really hurts that team. And I think he would have been kind of up against Tolu in certain situations because obviously he plays wide left or wide right, depending. So yeah, and then Fry, I've paired him up with him. They had a clean sheet and they obviously smashed it, as I said at the beginning of this video or beginning of the stream. But that's just whatever. And then we've got Machida at home, but they're playing Club Bruges, so I'm not expecting that. And then we've got Victor up top, but I don't think that he starts. I think he comes on for about 30 minutes. So this is not really a priority for me kind of whatsoever. I'm just throwing people in there for whoever's left. All right, Gaza says, tough call, mate. Utrecht have been very poor, but they scored 4 against Ajax. But I believe Twente stronger at the back and Smell back 80-20 tools. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's the best goalkeeper that I've got this week, really. So I want him in All-Star, and then just fingers crossed. But this is the 240 team that I'm thinking about putting out there. So we've got Niang coming in, which keeps the score nice and low. We've got Morris at home against Club Bruges. So that kind of, although it's a double A, I don't think it is a double A fixture. USG are decent at home, I get it, but I don't think it's a double A fixture for him. I don't think that they keep a clean sheet. So he can get some AA, hopefully get me like 50 points. And then we've got Burgers in there as well, which I'm not 100% confident on because lately he hasn't been too great, but he's always capable of a decisive as well. So why not just go for it if it comes in? Got Teddy Toomer in there because pretty much he's the only midfielder I've got, hence why I was looking at that. And Dai as well to bring in. And then we've got, as I already said, Ning out there. So I've got 48 points. Now, what I could do is play Taylor Booth. I've definitely switched the wrong one there. Yeah, I could put Taylor Booth in there and just buy nobody and hope for the best. Right, and then have Teddy as captain because he takes sets and see if I hit that threshold. But what I could do is move Teddy into that All-Star Rare Pro lineup. Obviously, get rid of Taylor Booth. Bring in Ndai. Obviously we was talking about this guy. Bring him in because he's only got 36 L15. And then so he takes the midfielder spot, and then I bring in Chano, I think his name, or Shano, however you pronounce it, and then I bring him in because he always seems to get around about like mid 50s, 60s. Again, it's a bit of a tough fixture away from home, but if he comes in with like 55, 56, then I'll be happy with it. So if I bring him in, obviously I'm over, but that comes massively down by like, I don't even know, like 20 or something points. And I don't think I've got anybody else that's worth putting in there, not from striker's point of view. Goalkeeper point of view, no, because Fernandez is not playing. Midfielders I haven't really got. So yeah, Teddy would then go into the All-Star Rare Pro, and this is what it looks like. Let me zoom in a bit, and then that should go down into full. Will it go into full? Yeah, it will. Okay. So you can see it. So yeah, cap 240 would be filled out. All-Star Rare which I do like the look of them as players. Evening, mate. What's going on, Mike? Welcome to the stream. And then we've got the Champion Europe side there. And then we've got the All-Star Rare Plus, which would have Teddy Toomer in it as well. And then just see if that hits or not. So I suppose a couple of questions, boys, if you can help me out. Am I prioritizing the right ones? So, I mean, if I didn't play Champion Europe, what would an All-Star team look like? Because All-Star Rare is really where I want to be kind of is where I want to be prioritizing it, really. So what would that look like if I just got Champion Europe out of my in face? So best goalkeeper that I've got, yeah, I think it's still Unastor, especially with like an 8.5 percentage on him. Probably Unastor, right? Defender wise, it's probably Grimaldo. From a midfielder wise, it's one of the top two. So it's Herrera or Garcia in there. And maybe it was potentially even like both. So let's go with Garcia. From a forward point of view, I mean, who's my best forward there? Because Kramaric doesn't play, and even if he did, he's playing Leverkusen. Kingsley Coman's away from home. Pantzil's away from home. Who's my best forward? Because they're not great, are they? I mean, win percentage for Bayern Munich is 55%, right? There's 43% chance that they score over 3 goals. That's probably Coman, isn't it? Is Coman due to start? Yeah, he is, mate. I mean, I will double check that, but he is. He didn't start last game, but I think he come on for their cup game last night, where they obviously got beat. But I'm pretty sure that he start. Let's have a look and see what these guys think. Yeah, 90% for Coman. I think he left the field the game before last, like the actual league game, with a little bit of a knock. But then he was training like literally the day after. So I think it was. I think he's all good to go. So yeah, so we'll probably go Coman, and then in that extra slot, let's zoom out again because I only done that to. There we go. So in that extra slot, who would I be putting? It's probably Herrera, isn't it? Because he takes all sets, so he's probably better than Palacios in this game. He's got a higher percent in terms of XP. Opponent scores higher. I mean, I could go with the defensive stack with Proper again, but obviously Herrera's more likely to get a decisive. Teddy Tuma is a double A fixture, but away from home, 5th versus 7th. Not sure on that. So it's probably Herrera. And then as a captain, I don't know. It'd either be Garcia or Grimaldo, maybe, that I'll go for. No, Garcia or Herrera. So is that lineup? But then if I do that, so let me just open that in another tab, right? So that All-Star lineup's 76 that they're saying. So it's a strong lineup. Let's go default and then let's look at this lineup. I would put Lucas with Grimaldo, mate. The defense. Yeah, it's just the trouble with that is, I mean, I don't think I've ever not stacked a goalkeeper and a defender when I've had them. So, but sometimes I feel as though like I'm just forced into it. I'm like, oh, right, I must go with them and them. The defender and the goalkeeper all the time. But if they concede, I think he's AA shit. So that's what I was looking for. What do you mean, mate? I find myself on that as well. Yeah, I do it with like midfielders and forwards all the time as well. I'm like, oh well, I must put Garcia with Victor because he's going to assist him each time, and then he gets subbed after 60 minutes, and then the forward that he was going to put in fucking smashes it. I know if it's if buts, maybes, and shoulda, woulda, couldas, and all of that, but I'm just trying to play it as I see it rather than, oh, I've got to play them together. But I know what you mean. I mean, if they keep a clean sheet, it's an extra 35 points, isn't it? Like straight off the bat. Hoffenheim have scored in the last 20 games, I think, except in Dortmund yesterday. Um, yeah, but I think that Kramaric has obviously been on fire for them, haven't they? I know he's been out for a few games and they've probably scored, but I don't know. Against Leverkusen, they're not going to see much of the ball. And with somebody like Kramaric missing out, somebody with his flair and his ability to produce something out of nothing, I don't know if they've got much. So maybe I'm answering my own question, but then again, Utrecht hasn't as well. Depends where you're playing proper, I suppose. Yeah. Well, let's just go as if again I wasn't putting a champion Europe team out, right? So this would be the All Star team. So let's save that. So then after, what is my priority after this? Because I don't think it's All Star Rare Plus because my Super Rares are shocking, and they're being split at the moment. Like people like Gressel, people like Lovitz, etc. So it's cap 240. Kramaric probably plays from the bench tomorrow, and Hoffenheim is one of the best counter attacking teams in the league. Yeah, but Kebab, I mean, it's Leverkusen. I know what you mean. Yeah, Leverkusen have conceded a lot. I know, or not a lot, but they do concede. I know. Um, well, let's just leave it as this for a minute because I've always stacked the defender and the goalkeeper. So let's just do that because I'll be pissed if it is a clean sheet and I'll be going, oh, why didn't I just do what I've done for the last fucking 2 years? Cap 240, yeah. If I want the Eve. So cap 240. So what's my team looking like in here then? Now, goalkeeper wise, so probably the best goalkeeper is Unastal, but I don't think I think his cost is too high. But let's go with it. I think Unastal over Fry definitely, and let's just see what we can make. So if I'm playing Unastal here, I probably want to play proper with him. Now at 55, that is quite, a bit of a kick in the teeth. It definitely can't get a Munoz in there, I don't think. But let's just see what I'm left with for proper and stacking that defense again. So from a midfield point of view, come on, sorry, there we go. Midfield point of view, definitely not a 69 in there for Palacios. 57 is still a push. Taylor Booth is fucking shit, but I could go out and pick the Ndai up, like I was talking about, that Ndai, or look for somebody else with a low L15. So that could work actually, maybe. If I picked him up and then put in, it'd have to be Niang because Victor might not be starting. Ansel, I think, is going to be a touch too high, but we'll see. So it'd have to be Niang. And then imagine, what was he? He was 36, right? So 36 minus that. So I've got 54 left for a midfielder. No, 54 for an extra because that he would slot in as a... So I can't get... Just to go by cost here. So I could get Burgers or Shano in as the extra. Shano, yeah. So I was thinking, I was just checking. Yeah, he's way more consistent, isn't he, than this guy? And they play Club Bruges. So Shano. Burgers and Morris defensive. I've got that in the in my original draft LAN. So I was just checking to see whether the way that I actually prioritize him, whether it would change my thinking. So yeah, imagine that Ndaya or somebody is in here, but it'd have to be him because to try and find somebody at 36 points. Right, so let's save that then. So after that, and this is where I'm struggling a little bit because of my yeah, I can't go challenger either. What goalkeepers have I got left? I have got Morris left. So then probably if it is, could I squeeze a challenger team? So would it be a Challenger Europe side? And I don't think I've got a midfielder. Ignore Taylor Booth, I'd buy somebody. But that could be the start of a Challenger Europe rare side. Or I could go All-Star rare plus and then go a Chader. But then it's probably going to have to be not Munoz. What is it? Tolu in there as a super rare, maybe. But that just like I don't mind them all individually, but for their matchups and stuff, I just don't rate it. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel as though my galleries looking at lineups, mate. I agree with Lan playing Morris in caps, Lucas Grimaldo in champion. Yeah, so basically like the original draft that I was talking about. I think it's worth like going through that mindset though, or that process in it, and just say, all right, if I didn't play this lineup and I was just going through that priorities, how would it change? But I think that where my gallery's at the moment, it's in a bit of a weird place, especially with the like all the American boys like Carlos Hill and stuff that are not playing, and Rossi and Gressel and Lovitz and Willis and whatnot. It just leaves me in a bit of a tough position. So yeah, because I don't love that. I don't love that as an All-Star Rare Pro. If it gives you the best use of yeah. So let's just go back then. So this is what we was originally looking at, right? This is what we drafted. So All-Star Rare with the Twente defensive stack. We've got Munoz on there, and I think he's fixture proof. I don't think it matters who he plays. He can just still smash it. Pansil's okay from an AA standpoint, and then Herrera can do what he does. So as a lineup, yeah, that is decent. And then from a Champion Europe lineup, I mean, yes, they're all away from home, but Leverkusen could win 4-2. Grimaldo scoring one, assisting one, you know. So yeah, I think it's this, isn't it? I think it's this. But still need to pick up then. Chanot was coming there. So let's just put him in there. Will it let me save if I'm over? Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes. So then he would come in here as well. So let's take out Teddy so we can get an actual look in what it's gonna be. And he would be captain as well. So this is almost like a bit of a throwaway lineup. Because I don't like... Yeah, the rest of the rares are shit, so I wouldn't even think about it. So let's say that. Come on. So that's what it looked like. So the gap is just that midfielder in cap 240. Which is bang on like 36 points left, I think it is. Yeah. Agree. My routine is pick the lineups how I like them, then use Sorare Data suggested lineup, and then compare the two. Yeah. I'll tell you what. They would... Oh yeah, but I've also got sorry, checking so yeah, but then I've also then I've got to prioritize Champion Europe first anyway, just because of my players, haven't I? Because if I go in All Star, they're going to put in Grimaldo and people like that, and then I won't be able to play Champion Europe until I build the gallery. Now, if I had Dalot in and Gross was playing Everton, so he would slot nicely probably into Champion Europe, and then I'd move out maybe like Alex Garcia, put him in All Star Rare instead of maybe proper. Drop proper. Yeah, whatever. What you got on screen looks good to me. Yeah, sweet. All right, if that's the case, we've got a nice little hole in cap 240. So, I mean, I don't mind picking up more than one player, right? So Shannon doesn't need to be in there, but if he is, I'm left with 51 points. So if I do get that and die, then I'm left with even more. So I could pick up like a smasher, and play him in there. Was he 36.15? So yeah, I could get somebody with like a 69 or something. And it does score well though, specifically Catmo. Yeah, I mean, I originally picked him up because it was like an international game week, and because I already had Morris, I was just like, fuck it, let's just pair him for Luxembourg. And the first time I did it, when was it? It was back here. He just popped up and just scored. I think he was on like 75 at half time, and then obviously it went to shit down here. But then since then, I've not even played him. Not played him once, I don't think. Not even in these games because I had like Dalot and other people, obviously, that I'm going to play. But yeah, consistently he does all right for a cheap player. He does all right. Um, so let's have a look then. I do like him though because I do think that he's good value for money. Like if he can start churning out these, I don't mind putting him into like a third priority sort of lineup as a rare, and maybe he does something like from an AA standpoint, he's capable, like a 33, a 20, 31, 22, but he's clearly capable of decisives as well. And it looks like Adana's been playing well of late. I mean, 4 wins out of 5. What's that? 5 out of 7. Beat Genk. They beat Besiktas. They beat Trabzonspor. They beat Konyaspor. I know that they've gone down a little bit downhill, but yeah, I might put a little bid in to this guy and just see what he does. What did the last? Got a little notification here. Oh, your offer's been cancelled. It's been accepted by another one. That don't fucking help, does it? It's only got 1.5% on it. I mean, this guy's not going to sell. I've tried buying off him before. He's not going to sell them to me. What did he last go for? Oh shit! Look at that. His auction went for 0.05. So fucking far above. His last sale was. Let's just put in a bit of. Let's just see what he does with that first. Just see what he does with that. In the meantime, I know a lot of people kind of do this, or content creators do it, but not that I'm a massive content creator and all that shit. That come across really shit, didn't it? But I'm going to show you my watch list. Some of the people that I've been looking at. And if they go up in price, then whatever, because some of them have been sitting on my watch list for fucking months. I've done nothing about it. So Niang I've already bought, so let's get him out. Get out. Bakasetas. He's one that I'm looking at, like strongly looking at. Dutch is in there because he'd be another champion Europe. So I've already got Victor, I've already got Kramaric, I've already got Koeman. Don't think I need him, but I do like the fact that he plays Bundesliga. So when they've got midweek or whatever and they all play together, then he's there. K-Rod, as we spoke about, I think that he's decent for that price. L15 is not too sad as well. Sikwet, I was looking at trading my Brooks Lennon super rare for him. So I think there's similar-ish players. They both take set pieces and stuff, but I was talking to Evil Duke. If you don't follow him, by the way, he's a Belgium League sort of expert. Definitely give him a follow. He's got some really good stuff, and I message him often about just trying to gather as much information as possible. And he said that this guy he's kind of good, but he's a little bit raw. He's one-on-ones, and he gives away possession a little bit because of the way that they play. But yeah, I was looking at him, so I've just left him on there to see what happens with his price. Got Tadic in there as well. I'll come on to him in a minute. And we've got Cameron Pieter's. Now, he's basically taken the role of Teddy Tuma. And you can see here people jumping on his bandwagon. And these are the reasons why. Because those scores are fucking mad. Takes all of their sets now as well. You know that I've already got Morris. I've already got Machida in there. But this guy looks like he's very, very good. Now, be interested in the next few weeks as to how they get on. Shit, he's good. He's crazy, mate. He honestly, and what pisses me off for more is I'd love to be able to see when you actually put somebody on their watch list because I watch a lot of USG. a lot of them because obviously I've got their players, but I just like them. I like to follow them. And I saw him around about like here, around this 62. And I thought, you know, you're talented. Like you're a talented footballer. Now I don't know if he's going to be there for long because the way that he plays, I reckon, could be in like a bottom level Premier League team. To be honest, that might be me over fucking reacting. And I've seen him play some like amazing games, but he almost reminds me a little bit of Mahrez in terms of the way that he plays, the way that he moves. His delivery is very good, etc. Anyway, all that side, it might just be a mad run of luck, but this season he's been very, very good. And as I said, Teddy Toomer not in there anymore. He's kind of taken over from his set piece specialist. Now, from a price wise, you can't see it because of my camera. He's coming up 0.19 on the floor. But then when you compare him, and I know you guys are talking about Bakasetas at the moment, so we'll come back to that. But when you compare him to Bakasetas, you're saving yourself like £70 by going for somebody like him, who is still capable of the hundreds, and he gives you the international utility as well. So I've just been looking at him, but you can see by his price rise, when I was looking at him, he was down like here, even before that. So maybe here, 0.12. But people have definitely been jumping on the bandwagon. It'd be interesting to see who. So Predictology, he makes some great signings, but he's actually sold him, probably because he's so inflated in price. Bakasetas has rejected Trab's contract offer, I think. Okay, so likely leaving at the end of the season, if not before. That is interesting, and maybe that is why people are trying to get out of the card. Nice. Yeah, nice. Scott, is he still linked to Germany? Okay, I didn't know he was, but again, I won't kind of buying him now. But yeah, it's good to have this because we can gauge, we can get some information. You know what I mean? We can get some fucking info. Shit. Oh, that was lucky. Can of Coke just nearly went fucking everywhere. I picked up a Apuities. I'm saying his name wrong. When I was watching him, seen him back 100. He's really good. Yeah, not too sure. When I was seeing him, was to Cardiff. He goes Cardiff. It's not ideal, is it? Maybe I'll stay clear of him then. At the moment, maybe I'll stay clear. Maybe Wolfsburg or Brennan. The other green shirted Germans. Yeah, maybe I'll stay away. I mean, this guy would make sense for my gallery. Morris, Burgers, Machida, and him as a 4-man stack. Now their forward ain't all that. Okay, is it? He scores, don't get me wrong, but AA wise, he's not all that. Just decisive heavy. See there, -1, -4, 0, 3. But he's still decent. But yeah, so that's him anyway. Who else? Let's scroll down. So another one that I really would like at the moment is Politano. And again, somebody listed him up. I don't know if you can see it on here. It's that point. Yeah, this one here. See this 0.05. I saw that come up. He was up for about an hour. And I was thinking to myself, do I just get it? As another, because you look at his scores, really good for a champion Europe forward. Because from an AA point of view, this season he's been on fire and decisive, and he takes their corners. Not all of them, but some. Midweek utility. I don't think he's been called up for the Italian team this time, but he has played for them in the past. But I just don't know if people were. That's why I was waiting, because I needed to see what was going on with my other cards and who I could sell, etc. But from a champion Europe forward point of view, I do really like Politano. His Super Red was up earlier. I wonder if somebody's bought it. No, he bought it. Fair enough. I bought Leo from Napoli. Was smashing it now, just on the bench. Leo. Oh, what, this guy? Never even heard of him, mate. Oh, he was smashing it. You're right. Yeah, he plays for Norway as well. You must have got something out of him though, Gaza. For these scores with your cards, mate, you must have got something out of him. Problem with Peter in stack is that he's too good for a USG stack. Yeah, exactly. I thought that when I was listing those names, like putting him with burgers, what's the point? You're going to put him into a more priority lineup, aren't you? Don't keep a clean sheet enough. I put him in a 4-man USG stack, and when they played Eupen at home and they still managed to concede, yeah, not ideal, is it? But Napoli interests me. It's a good problem to have. I don't play. Yeah, they do interest me because they have got a good run of form at the moment. Di Lorenzo as well. I think that he's a decent price for what he does. What he's capable of. He's capable of those hundreds. If we just look at all and just not buy Italy, buy Napoli, you can see there are so many dark greens. So that might be a good little stack. At the moment, I don't actually have an Italian team. So as I was talking about earlier, from Belgium, I love watching USG. Obviously, Spurs is my English team. You've got my Spanish team being Girona. You've got my German team being Leverkusen that I enjoy watching. I haven't got an Italian team. So, I mean, I went to Naples and Sorrento, etc., a couple of years back and fucking loved it. So maybe it's Napoli, right? But I feel as though I've missed out on Politano a little bit. I should have bought him when I saw that price, but he's still there. He's still there. So making my way through. I know that this is like a 30-man watch list, but I haven't updated in a little while. Interesting, right? Talking about this guy. Does he continue this run of form? Because when I was building my lineups, you might have seen that I've only got one Challenger Europe forward. So I need to get somebody else in. Hence why Tadic is on that list as well, right? That I was looking at. And again, coming back to Christmas utility, coming back to what he does from an AA standpoint, the Fenerbahce kind of fixture list that he plays for his international team as well. But then when you compare his scores at Fenerbahce this season, right? Look at that. You compare this guy this season. Where did this season start? From this 77. It's there, if not better. And this guy takes the sets. And yes, all right, he doesn't have international, he doesn't have Europe or whatever, but he's half the price, if not a bit more than half the price. Question is though, does it continue? Does it continue? That is the question. Because he's good. I mean, go say, I love your streams, mate. Appreciate it, mate. I'm not really a streamer, to be honest with you. I've just come in here. I knew I had to do a bit of work before tomorrow, so I thought, fuck it. Let's just jump on and get some help. But appreciate you, mate. Ben, Ben. I'm assuming it's just Ben. How's it going, mate? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm okay. How are you? How are you doing? Gaza probably only gets a AA. That's the main. Absolutely. The only thing that worried me was when I was looking at, again, he's been on my list for like 4 or 5 weeks and I'm just doing nothing about it. When I looked at him there, he didn't really play much last season, but maybe they sold a few players and he took over. But going back to last season, like he was sub a lot. He didn't really get too. I suppose when he started, he got an okay AA. But that was what was worrying me. I mean, they're not the best team in the world, are they? That's the other thing. But I could pick him up, and maybe it just makes sense to pick him up because I need a Challenger Europe goal forward, another one. There's a bit of depth. He's got a really good fixture against Eupen. He's got good fixtures. Westerlo, yeah, Antwerp maybe not, but Michelin, absolutely. OHL, absolutely. RWDM, yes. Tough. Easier, tough. So the next 5 fixtures there, he's got decent fixtures. Maybe it's one that I pick up on this stream, maybe. But yeah, Tadic is there, and the thing is, I actually feel as though I've gone back a little bit in my gallery, probably in the last like 3 months. There was at a point like when I won Bellingham, And how fucking stupid does that seem now? Sold Bellingham. But at the time, we didn't know what was going on with him, etc. And for my gallery at that size, I needed to get the ETH out, and then I just spunk the money really. I just done a Tottenham with Gareth Bale. I spent it on a load of shit. Yeah, but when I had him and I had Griezmann and I had some players, you won Bellingham. Yeah, I did, mate. I did. Right, check this out. Let's see if I can. What's the quickest way to find out what you won when you won it? I mean, let's see. Think I sold it for pure ETH last year. Yeah, there you go. That's where I sold it for 0.9. Which, in the grand scheme of things, yes, he's obviously gone for like just under double that kind of. But all of this time, it was uncertain as to what was going on and where he was going. But I didn't think that he could get better. I thought that he would kind of stay the same as he did at Dortmund, as he was at Dortmund, sorry. I thought he would be this type of player, which obviously is still great. But at that time, bearing in mind that I didn't play Champion Europe at all, I had no Champion Europe players. And I was thinking to myself, it's too tough to get into. It makes sense to get him out. And I think, I say that I bought a load of shit. I'm pretty sure that I bought Carlos Hill in there who has done some stuff. I mean, he was like up at 0.6. I think I bought Hill, and there was another like big smasher in there that I bought. So it didn't really go to waste, right? But then obviously, as soon as he's gone to Real Madrid, like they are frightening scores. They are frightening. But we didn't know that. We didn't know that was going to happen. But what was the lineup? That's what I want to show you, because it was such a random lineup. I had like a D2. When I say D2, I mean Division 2 in Spain, goalkeeper. I had Botch Nieswich, the super rare, at Herenveen. I think it was Teddy Tuma as the captain. No, it wasn't Griezmann. It was someone. Oh, Vito Van Cruz, which I'm still gutted that he went to fucking Saudi. Still gutted, and somebody else, and I come second. Yeah, in All Star Rare Pro. Yeah, one Bellingham. But there you go. It was the right decision at that time. It was definitely the right decision. But coming back to that, I do feel as though I've kind of gone back in terms of my gallery when I look at when I had Griezmann and I had some other top players. And then I made the decision to branch out a little bit, try and really dominate the summer with some of the signings, and then yeah, since then it's been a bit shit. So I do, although I'm going to be focusing on 240 to try and get that threshold in, I do want players to come in who are like just well-known, established SO5 players, and then when I get a bigger gallery, yeah, I can be like, oh, I've seen his scores. Maybe I can, maybe I can get him in and do something with him, and he turns into an absolute gem. But I just need tried and tested. That's why I've kind of got Coman in there as well. Spent a little bit more on him rather than buying somebody like a Politano or whatever. But like for a smasher team, I mean. But yeah, that's why Tadic is on there. So a fucking long-winded way of saying that's why Tadic is, excuse me, on the watch list. On the watch list. Who's next? Leroy Sané. So he was on there when I was looking at Coman as well, but Leroy Sané is double the price of Coman. Now maybe because he scores better than Coman, but I don't know if he's double the price. He's guaranteed week in and week out though, and takes their sets. So I'm just seeing what goes on with his price, really, just out of curiosity. And then Lacazette's another one. So from Champion Europe point of view, there's a few forwards that I've been looking at, right? Which is, as I've said, there's Politano, it's Lacazette, and it's Marley Sarr. Lacazette has tumbled in price, pretty much like 50% gone down almost. What's that? 105. Yeah, but like Leon can't be that shit. They can't be that shit all season. They just can't. And when you look at him for Leon, they're decent scores. again for a Champion Europe forward. Now, if I'm going to be playing Champion Europe, I'll probably obviously need a second goalkeeper anyway, because otherwise I'm forced to be playing by Leverkusen, which is no bad thing anyway. But I'm forced to be playing them week in and week out in that competition. Which, if I want to be playing All Star, as you've just seen in the scenario that we've just had, if I don't play Champion Europe, where do I play my cards? Because the 270's been truly bent over and fucked with what Sorare has done with it at the moment. Not that I'm annoyed by that or anything, but I think he's decent. But Politano is probably what 60% of his price, and is probably the better pick considering that he has in midweeks as well. But Lacazette is an interesting one, and the other one, as I said, is Sarr. Now, he is the most expensive out of them, but I like him because at Marseille, he had this spell where he was a bit injured, but take away his sub appearances as well. That's been his starts, averaging a 17 AA and a 49.3 decisive. He's got 3 goals and an assist, and he takes some of their sets. And from a forward card point of view, when Marseille get going, they have got some decent midfielders to pair him with, or defenders in terms of Klaus, in terms of Harrod in there as well. So he is somebody that I'm looking, but I just think he's a little bit too expensive at the moment. So they're the 3 Champion Europe. Monfrey, this guy, this guy, by the way, he's so consistent. If you have him as a super rare, you're just laughing. You're getting like fucking 90 points week in and week out. He's been on my watch list for around about 18 months. Never bought him, but I've just left him there for the sake of it. Pereira in there for obvious reasons. Leicester are smashing that league. Steng's in there to just so I can see what he can do from his price. You can see here. Now I've moved him a little bit. We're nearly coming to the end as I talk to you through my fucking watch list and then actually get into scouting and buying. Yuksek, so he would come onto my watch list probably here at this point, and then he started to absolutely do bits. It was like the first couple of games around here, and then he started to do some bits and pieces. But I don't think that I'm going to pick him up for that price. I do think that there are better players out there. Gedson Fernandez being one, which is the guy below him. So that's another one that I was looking at. With going back to that question around Bakasetas and like Ndiaye, and I forget the other one it was, but Gedson is definitely in there. From an AA standpoint, the guy's just a machine. And when he plays for Besiktas, and when he starts, you can see that his average AA is over 20, and I just like it. Decisive wise, I'd like him to do a bit more, but I prefer him to the other guy that I was just showing as well. So Gedson's definitely one that could potentially come into my gallery sooner rather than later from a challenger midfielder point of view. We've got Gazzaniga in there because of Girona. Scouting him before the season started because from an AA standpoint at the end of last season, he was getting tons of it. Toby Alderweireld is in there as well. What do you think about buying Tottenham players in Champion? I would love to, Kebab. Obviously, as a fan of Tottenham, I would. I mean, I don't know if you was on the stream that I done. What was it? So it's before my little boy was here. So 4 months ago, when I was saying that I want a Madison, and Madison was 0.25, and I want a Son, and Son was like 0.18, and I was like, I just haven't got the funds, and I don't want to be putting more money in. Look at me now. Look at me now. Scouting Politano when I could have had fucking Son. Scouting Yuksik when I could have had Madison. Shit. So yeah, I would like to have him. I think Pedro Porro is decent for his value. I think Basuma is obviously good, but decisive wise doesn't get you that sort of peaks that I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who can hit like 85 plus. I don't think that he possibly can. Romero at the back. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Romero in terms of he's just a bit of a liability, but scoring wise, he's very, very good. So I would like to pick him up, but I just think they're inflated right now. And due to only getting utility in the Premier League, there's no European, and a lot of them don't play covered internationals. Yeah. hopefully I'll win them, right? Hopefully I'll win them. Got Griffo in there as well as another champion midfielder, but I think that I'm okay at the moment. But again, for price, Madison, you can see there, like I created this watch list ages ago. You can see Madison and Son are basically one of the first two people that have been on it. And look at their prices now. I could have literally had them for a third of the price than what they are going for in terms of floor right now. But hey, I didn't want to put more money in. Did not want to do it. So I chose not to. And then Griezmann, I said, I'd done a video on this when I sold him, that he'd probably make his way back into my gallery because I really like him. I think at the end of his contract, if not like a year before, I think he goes to MLS as well. And I do enjoy the MLS. So I've been keeping my eye on him. And that's and Junior Ito would make sense to pair with Maya Teddy Tuma. But he would almost become a bit of a cat player for me. So again, I want some smashers first before I start building, as that worked for me before. So there's my watch list. Kennedy says, I was close to picking up Gedson as well. He's super cheap right now. Ended up with Malik Tillman instead. Okay, and you have Lozano for so mini stack there. That makes sense for the little mini stack. But yeah, Gedson is super cheap. He's super cheap. Oh, Julian Dessart in there as well, but he doesn't get enough decisives for me. But again, from a super rare point of view, if you can afford that super rare, fucking, it's a great super rare. Excuse me. And Armani's in there. Again, at the beginning of the season, I was looking at USG. As you can see, I was a bit of a fan. I was looking at getting his super at the beginning of the season. I chose not to. Then he started scoring like this, and I was like, oh, shit, missed opportunity. But then look at his last 5 games. Been dog shit, so get out. There we go. So, with all that fucking being said, has this guy got back to me yet? I bet he ain't, has he? Of course he ain't. Why? Why not? Why not? So yeah, I've got about, I mean, you can't see it there, but I've got about yeah, about 1.6 ETH. Sorry, 0.16 ETH to get a few players in. So that Ndai, I mean, he hasn't gone to Basilbot or anyone yet, has he? He ain't. I mean, this guy, I don't mind paying 0.04 for him. It's the first edition of him as well. Don't know. What's the best way of finding some cap players that make sense for my gallery at the same time? Don't know, but let's first things first is has anybody come on the market from my watch list? That's the question. Shout out any good cheap midfielders, guys, or forwards or something like that. That would make sense potentially for my gallery. Feel free to do that, or just players that you like, players that you're thinking about picking up, whatever it may be. Let's see who's come on the market here. So Sar has come on cheaper. So Pug Trader's got one now. Buy something. Do you know what? I was looking at him earlier, and I've previously owned a big old Sven. Look at this. I bought him for I'm sure it was like 0.135 off for somebody. Will it show? Yeah, look at that. I bought him for 0.135 and I sold him for fucking 0.05. And then look at him. Look what he's done since. He's like the NHL supply. You don't fucking stop, does he? I'm sure I read an interview as well that he's just going to carry on after this because he just loves life so much. Yeah, but he's been doing fucking bits, really, isn't he? For his age and that, he's been doing all right. I say for his age. He's 2 years older than me. For his age. Shit. Getting old, you know. I'm getting old. Do you know, I was sitting there the other day. I was sitting there. My belly was hanging over my trousers. In the car. I was listening to Magic FM, which, for people who don't know, who are not from the UK, is like a station that just plays like old bangers in terms of like old soul, disco, something or whatever. Basically, old man, old woman music. listening to that. So I bought a new car. So I've got a Volvo now as well. So again, for people who don't sort of know the joke, but a Volvo is like a family car. I've got 2 kids. I'm out of breath when I fucking run up when I walk up the stairs. I can just about run a bath, let alone fucking run a mile. I was thinking like 5 years ago, I had a 6 pack, was doing 5K in under fucking 15 minutes or something stupid. And now look at me. I'm addicted to Sorare. No, it's all good. I love life though. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And then look at Sven. At 35 years of age, he's still smashing the shit out of fucking out of the Belgium league. Anyway, yeah, he said he wants to stay another year at Ghent or somewhere else. Yeah, fair enough. That's outstanding. Oh shit. Um. So yeah, so that's 2 traders that have got a SAR now. Leroy Sane's slowly coming down. He was like best part of 0.49 at the beginning of the week. Bakasita, somebody's trying to sell his super rare already. Papa and Die, is that guy who's Papa and Die's super rares come up? You know, I mean that ain't. I'm calling him. Hold on, was that? Oh, oh no, his name's different on Sorare Data. All right, fair enough. His name's different on Sorare Data. I don't think I can afford it though unless I trade out my Brooks. I'm open for the 13 people that are here or whatever. I swear when I first started streaming there was about 50, 60 people. So either people hate me or I'm just no longer in the algorithm after having a couple of months break. I'm gonna go with the algorithm because it will just hurt my self-esteem too much. Um, yeah, I'm interested in selling my Brooks Lennon super rare. If anyone fancies it. Somebody offered me like 0.1 today. Fucking having a laugh, aren't you? It was like, yeah, but it's 5 times 14 now. It's just changed. Yeah, that's probably my wife who's just dialed in. Just she's heard some screaming down the end of the garden or some self pity, so she's just thought, fuck it, let's bump the numbers up. It's all right though because she's feeding like my newborn, and in about 3 hours I'll be up, and then about 2 hours after that I'll be up again, and then probably about an hour after that he'll start crying, so I'll be up again, and then he'll probably wake my toddler up, so I'll be up again. But it's all right 'cause I'm not tired. Don't worry about it. I'm not tired, and then I'll just do a full day's work as well, and then be addicted to soda at the same time, and then make dinner. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because we still love life, boys. Yes. Fuck. Lennon's interesting. If I'm least, he should get more sets. That said, he gets most sets last night. Yeah, I really like him. And to be fair, if like, I mean, PSU fans too, right? And you know, Andy, I watch your shit as well on Sorare Data. It's always like he always says spend more money. And don't get me wrong, like I'm in a position where I could pump some money in and have some of the players that I've spoken about and get some super res in and stuff. But I'm just don't want to do that at the moment. So I would definitely keep him if I was going to pump some more money in, because from a super rare point of view, he does exactly what I want a super rare to do. He has these big spikes, which he can get. As you said, it takes sets. He's not on the worst team in the world. I enjoy watching the MLS. All right, these last few games have been shit, but hopefully Atlanta get a better goalkeeper next year, and you know they do get a little bit better. Almeida leaving, which is almost guaranteed, is not gonna be great for him. But you know, yeah. But I would definitely keep him. But selling him for like 0.1. You're having a laugh. I've got him up there for 0.4 at the moment. Don't mind selling around like this price because I paid for like 0.45 for him. But to reinvest somewhere else. But otherwise, I'll keep him. Sar is a smasher when he starts. Really like him a lot as an owner. Okay, you own him. What card do you own? Limited or rare? I hope he stops getting rotated and stays fit. I think when he's fit, he don't get rotated. From the research that I've done, I don't see anybody there taking his position on what he offers. And he says he's on a team that will spend more money to improve to improve the team too. Sorry, he's a good hold, but I totally get it. Yeah, it's one of them. If somebody comes in with a good price, I'll sell him. If not, I'm happy to keep him. It's cool. Gaza, if I see anything on the news of a man stood on Tower Bridge threatening to jump as he needs sleep, mate, I'll just sleep at the top of it. I'll just get away from things. Do you know what I mean? Just get me a pillow, get me a nice little duvet, and I'll plot up for the night. I will plot up for the night. We've been going for like what, an hour and a half, and I still fucking ain't bought anyone, have I? I'm no closer to submitting that team. I don't even know where I was. Oh yeah, looking at see who's been listed. Human Song. Like what I was trying to do as well was put a few cheeky. This guy must be sick of me. I reckon this guy hates me. He's the one who's been putting thumbs down on all my videos, I reckon, because I've sent in the same offer probably like 4 times. No wonder he ain't blocked me at the moment. But I've been sending in Brooks Lennon super rare for Human Song, and he's just been rejecting it literally within like 10 seconds. So whatever. One day you might just think, fuck it. This guy's so persistent. I'm just gonna accept it. Miley Sarah again. I think that's Sir Hiss. Yeah, Sir Hiss has got one as well. But again, he's probably going to be expecting 0.2 on that. I don't think he's worth 0.2. Not when you can get somebody like a Coman in a top team. And again, I've already got him. Politano's increased, as I said, he's doubled in price nearly. Well, that weather is bad out there. There's some severe storms in the UK at the moment. So if my internet crashes, then I've not had a breakdown. It's just my internet's crashed. All right, so nobody's been listed of interest really, apart from him, and he's rare. The Ant, he's not getting back to me. Ant, what are you doing to me? I don't think he's got a Discord either. I don't know why you wouldn't have a Discord. I don't know why Sorare hasn't introduced something where you can message them in game. Like, so I think I've said before, so I work for a fintech company. So I'm a change manager for a fintech company. So everything we do is IT, right? So everything comes through me that goes to clients and all of our banks and all of that sort of stuff. That's my job in a nutshell. Any change that comes through, I have to vet. We have to make sure, test it, blah, 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 blah. Go through Agile, go through Scrum and all of that. That probably means nothing to the majority of people. Anyway, to put in a field that says, if you send this offer, so the button would be send, have a drop down, have a pick list that says maybe like 5 different options, like when you're rejecting or when you're sending or whatever. Oh, feel free to send me a counter. I don't know, when you're rejecting something, no, he's not for sale, or I just need a little bit more, or something like that. Some standard ones, so there's no abuse that's going on. People know where you stand, or a little messaging system in there if you really wanted to vet it and put it in place. I think personally that that's quite easy to do. Instead, we don't. Instead, that people like him doesn't have a Discord. Instead, that he doesn't reply to me for like hours on end. Instead, I just sit here twiddling my thumbs thinking, Ant, oi, Ant, why aren't you replying? Do you hate me? Ant, do you hate me? There's no other card on the market, is there, apart from this guy? I mean, this guy's online, right? That's a good thing that that Sorare done. They put in there to see whether they're online, but he ain't gonna want to send to me. Oh, he's got another card that I wouldn't mind getting back involved with as well. We'll talk about him in a minute. Yeah, you can see they're online and how quickly that they reply. So that is decent. He's also got a bell hander that he's trying to sell as well. You can tell that he's trying to flip some cards here. And we was talking about him earlier, which I didn't really mind. Visca's another interesting one. So if Bakasetas goes, Visca probably takes up more sets, right? And they've obviously got Big Paul up top now. So target man, he gets his nice little couple of points for an attempted assist or whatever when Paul just smashes it over the bar with his nut. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Visca comes in. He's quite cheap. He would fit in there. He's got a tough matchup, I think, this week, though. Especially without Bakasetas playing. So let's go for Um, who is the forward that I was talking about? Has he been listed recently? Where is he? There he is. Who's selling him? And does he make sense? Does he make sense to get in? His last sale was a bit low, which might help. Who's selling this one? World Trade Center. All right, fair enough. Kennedy says, sorry, mate, I missed this one. I owe him in rare, have a small Watford stack with him, João Pedro, and some of the Watford under 23s. Yeah, João Pedro's gone to Brighton, right? But obviously he's part of that collection. It'd be interesting to see if he gets more game time. Because when he's played for Brighton this year, he's actually looked pretty dangerous, you know. He's done all right. Is this guy just hype though? Do you know what I mean? Like, who else out there is from a challenger that's a similar price point that offers what he does this season? Like, I don't care about age, as we've just discovered. Taremi, but I know that he's been out of favour a little bit at Porto, been in and out. I don't want an Austrian Bundesliga player. I mean, these guys are just Denki. Evil Duke suggested him, but not bad scores. But look at that, minus 15. Fucking shit, minus 15 AA. He must have had some. Oh, missed a penalty, big chance. All right, fair enough. Yeah, from an AA standpoint, just nobody touches him, does he? Really? Let's just have a look at forwards. Let's go challenger. So what do I need? Let's fucking get my shit in gear. Come on. What do I need gallery wise, right? So let's talk about America. You know, I've got some decent cards in there. Reynuso, Super Gressel, Herrera, Brooks Lennon we spoke about, Diego Rossi, Carlos Hill. So we've got some. We're fine there. I don't really want to be selling many of these guys. We'll just see how they get on next season. As I said, Brooks Lennon possibly is going out. I think I've done all the business getting the America players out that I should have done. So let's talk about the upcoming few months, right? Second division as well. Let's throw that in there. So from a goalkeeper point of view, I've got 3 good goalkeepers, like very good goalkeepers in my opinion, even though that Morris has been pretty shit recently. Kennedy says, if you go for Goethe, there's a nice cheap under 23 on that team. Sniper worth about point. I think Lozano could be worth a shot if you need a forward. I just got 1 for 0.6. Lang had a hamstring injury back. He was surely leaving in January. Yeah, I looked at Lozano when when the news come out that he was going PSV. But do you think he plays week in and week out? I mean, that's the reason why I didn't pick him up, pretty much, or didn't make the list. In the famous words of Chris Jericho, for any WWF/WWE fans out there, when you had some little checkboard about making the list or something. Anyway, it's probably not funny, so we'll move on. But yeah, he didn't make my watch list because of that, because of Lang, because of Bakayoko, because of what was going on there. Didn't know if he was going to start, but yeah. So challenger/champion. I'll probably need another champion Europe goalkeeper, but that's not a priority at the moment because I've still got like another month utility out of the America guys. So I think that I'm all right there. Raul Fernandez, I'm hoping that he leaves in January because he don't want to be a number 2 and he goes back into Division 2 in Spain because he was. I've definitely opened that up on the wrong fucking thing. He was such a good goalkeeper for me. He was the one who won me Bellingham. Look at those scores there for a goalkeeper. It was fucking brilliant having this guy in. Defenders, Munoz stays, obviously challenger, proper challenger. Grimaldo, champion. This guy, Division 2. But does a job in terms of cap. Patrick Van Alder, should never have bought him, really. Never have bought him. Burgers is challenger. Brenner, if he ever comes back, is challenge. So I am missing not only a champion Europe goalkeeper, a champion Europe defender as well. Like, you know, I'm saying one, but I need more than one in terms of priority. Midfielders, champion wise, I'm okay at the moment. But challenger, like, I'm bad. Taylor Booth, that I paid all that money for a number 1 jersey, and then what do? You just be shit. You just be shit. you've come from Bayern Munich's academy, and he smashes it here, and then look how shit that is. I don't know. I don't know if I'm more angry around me. Sorry, I don't know if I'm more angry at him or more angry at me. Just angry. Just an angry man. Fucking hell. Oh shit. Yeah, not great, is it? Not great. Hopefully he can do some bit. Do you know what's even funnier? Is that I heard a rumor that Eric what's his name? Ten Hag was interested in him to sign him at Man United. I mean, like if you just looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, Bayern Munich kid went out to the Eredivisie, done like a bit shit, but you can tell that there was some talent there, and he's gone back in, and Man United have placed a bid on him or whatever." But I'm almost certain. I'm sure if I googled it, you'll be able to see some sort of link in there. But anyway, he's shit. So going back to this, so champion goalkeeper, champion defender, challenger midfielders, I need because if I need another super rare as well for challenger or champion because my 4 super rares in the US obviously expire, so to speak, in a month or two as well. So I do need to do a few things. But I think that's almost a priority, like a number 1 priority for me is the challenger midfielders. And then from a forward point of view, as we've already said, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 champion, and then 1. So it's challenger, midfielders, and forwards is basically what I need to get in. Moritz says, if you're interested in Ram as a possible champ Euro defender, I would sell him, I guess, on a few. Is that your cheeky way of just saying, look, I know you need someone. I'm selling someone. Give me your money. Is that what that is? No, do you know what? I looked at him. I'm not gonna lie. I did look at him because he's been scoring all right, hasn't he? The last couple of games. Sure he has. Yeah, there you go, smash. And I remember watching him. Did he play in the World Cup? Maybe not the one just gone. The one before that. Am I showing my age? He played somewhere. It might be in the Euros. Maybe because I think it was a couple of years ago. He was superb. He was superb. Where was it? Let's just go all. Whether it would be. No, I don't think it was then. I don't know. I'm sure it was a tournament at some stage. Anyway, yeah, he's decent though. If you have time, could you have a look at my gallery? Yeah, I suppose before I actually do what I come on in it to do, and to properly scout challenger midfielders and forwards, what we've just worked out. I mean, we've done my lineups, so that's top. Done my lineups, which is good. But yeah, we could take a look at your gallery. Fuck it, why not? We're not on a schedule. We're not on an agenda, are we? What is your gallery name, mate? Harry GG. What do you want me to look at? Just want me to literally look at it. Nice and yellow. Real nice. You got some Celtic boys in there. Yeah, what do you need? What do you need, kebab? This guy used to be fucking good, you know. When I wanted to get into Asia at some point, yeah, he was solid. Solid back here. I want to progress to rare cap 240. I mean, not financial advice or anything, but I would just sell your gallery. And just use that point to try and get rares. But no, you're probably your first point is either going into your 220s, use one of your limited goalkeepers and spend some money, and then hopefully win some cards will be limited, sell them, and then save up enough money to get yourself a rare goalkeeper, then enter in your 240, and then start building from there, mate. But yeah, I mean, at the moment it seems like that's what you can afford to play, so that's what you're playing. You've got some good cards in there from Celtic, from Dortmund, so hopefully you win some stuff, mate. But that's probably the route that I would take if you're not prepared to just literally sitting on the toilet and shitting out a load of money, and hopefully it goes into Sorare. You know what I'm saying? Right. Challenger, challenger, challenger midfielders and um, challenger midfielders and challenger strikers. Let's go with mids first because I at least need a mid for this game week in cap 240. Right. Feel free as well in the chat. Any suggestions, any like cheap bargains that you've seen out there, any just like smashes that you think are a little bit underpriced or not underpriced and think that would suit my gallery, feel free to suggest them. Who's this fella? Well, he's fucking doing all right, isn't he? Last couple of games. I mean, he's not. I don't know nothing about him really. There's old Cameron. They're sixth on the list. I suppose if I'm looking for 240, I don't really want somebody in the 65. However, if I do get that in Ndai, then I do have like 69 points, was it? Wait, I had 69. 69 points to get somebody in. So if they fit my gallery and they're a smasher, then I'm okay making that money on them. Spending that money, sorry. So this is the I don't really know too much about the Croatian league. I mean, doesn't it finish early? Or they have a long break, don't they? Well, yeah, I'm not really about that. I don't want that long break. There's Sven. There he is, Andy. There he is. Look at him, youthful. Look at his youthful little face. Beautiful man. There he is. He ain't a bad price, is he? For that. Wendell, Florentine. He used to smash it a little bit. What's he saying lately? Oh, he's only just got back into the team. Yeah, he's been a bit shit. Rafa seems like he's got the number 10 role at Benfica, although they haven't been great, have they? He's been okay. Last few games he hasn't. Probably why he's dipped a little bit. He's got Champions League, but they're probably going to get knocked out of that. Not really about him. Vehement, I still don't understand. Well, I do know why, right? Because of all these hundreds. But somebody like him is half an ETH. But then you've got somebody like Alex Garcia, and I know that I'm sort of like fanboying on him at the moment, right? But he's just been doing bits for me. How is he half the price? I don't understand. You can have two Garcias, and this is me just picking a player out of thin air, right? I don't know the prices of other smashers, but I don't know. I just look at that as a comparison, and don't know. As I said, I'm probably fanboying a little bit, and who else is in here? Anybody that I've missed? Otherwise, it might be like a Gedson and that Ndai that I pick up, and maybe that Koreto as well. Romins, no. That's that Yuksek. He's in there as well. Yunseok Hong. He's only just coming back into that lineup, but I'd rather have Coombs than him. Skimansky, he's another one. He dropped down so low when he was at he did look at Feyenoord. I messaged a few people. I'm sure Channy was one of them. I spoke to him and said, like, tell me more about this kid. And then he's been doing bits for Fenerbahce at the moment, isn't he? But I think he's just too much at the moment, really. Overpriced a little bit. Julian Desite doesn't get enough decisives. I think, as I said, you've got to have a super of him. Tom Hay, he was originally good, but now he's a bit shit. Herenveen are a bit shit. Quincy Jordi Classy is okay, and he's not a bad option for cap, you know. He's not a bad option for cap 240. He gets you those solid scores. But for the same price or cheaper, I get that and Dai and compare him with Niang. He ain't bad. He ain't bad. Thoughts on Classy? Di Maria in there. Callum McGregor. You got a Hands of Anakin in there as well. Okay. Not a bad price at 0.16. Now I'm starting to get lower and lower. Visca we spoke about. I will talk about him. Oh, I'm missing anyone here, boys. This is where Bacasita comes in as well. Bacasitas comes in. Matson, not too bad. Let's look at him. Amani I've already spoken about, but his L15 is too high. There's Gedson, he's already on the list, isn't he? So Sven Meinans. I mean, I started watching him when it was at Sparta, when I had Vita Van Cruz. He's all right. This is probably my wife texting me saying I've given him a bottle and he's sick everywhere. No. I feel like Vanaken is undervalued right now. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So we'll take a look at him. Did I open him up? Yeah, I did. Scott, if you want a cheap gamble for the game week on gap mode, Sergio Olivier is predicted to start. The sale was around, what was that? Is around £16. Was a regular starter last year. Is he not Galatasaray? Is that the guy you're talking about? Olive. Definitely spelled that wrong. I before E. Yeah, Galatasaray. I mean, but is he one that I literally get in, pay that for? Yeah, might get some money back, and then he just never starts again. I mean, it ain't a bad shot, is it? You know. Who else is in here before we look at the ones that we've opened up? Vlap, no. Tadic is in there as a midfielder, but obviously I'd get his forward card. Schufs used to be pretty decent, but I don't want to buy into Michelin at the moment. I think Storm might be injured as well. Any of these stick out? Any of these? He seems like he's on a bit of a heater at the moment. Who is he? Plays centre mid for them. Did he play last year? Did. Bit part player. When he started, he was alright. Who plays in this team? No one of relevance. No, get out. Get off of the screen. Now. There's Belhanda. Oh, he's overpriced. Trezeguet, he's not really been playing. Don't like any of them. He's not too bad. Who's he play for? Austria. What Austria do I? Get out. Alzati, is he the ex-Brighton boy? Seems a bit inflated as well. Alright, I think that's enough. For challenger midfielders. João Mario as well. You know, I'm so glad that I didn't make a big, bad, horrible decision last season and get this guy in. But he has been starting again, and we know that he's capable of doing some stuff, but he's too risky for me at the moment. Callum McGregor doesn't smash enough, does he? If I'm gonna be spending 0.17, I want somebody who can really fucking get up there, you know? Get up there and do some damage. Go on, get up there. Let's park him. Vanaken. Yeah, I think that he is a little bit underpriced, you know, considering what he can do. He's interesting to me. How have Club Brugge been getting on? Because all I've been fucking worried about is USG. How are they doing? I'm assuming they're near the top. Oh, not great. Not great. Probably why he's dropped in price a little bit, isn't it? You know what? I don't mind him. Let's stick him on the list. Stick him on the list. So, by the way, I know that I've been talking about like Cap 240 and shit. But as we said, I still need like a smasher for Challenger. So if I do play Challenger Rare and with the likes of Munoz and Panseal and whatever, then then I have a smasher as a midfielder. So hence why I'm looking at these guys as well. I know some people might be thinking we've got a gap for 240, but this is why. Who takes their sets? Is it him? I'm assuming it's Vanaken who takes their sets. No, it's De Kuiper. So he gets those scores without taking sets. He takes some of the free kicks. Although De Kuiper's going to be losing his position, basically, isn't he? So in the last 5, he still doesn't take them. So he gets those without... That's fucking interesting, you know. Did I put him on the list? I did. Right, let's come back to it. Belhanda. So that might be a nice... It might... I know I've come back to him again, but it might be nice with him to stack him with that Niang. Is it Niang that I bought? Come on, Niang. Just put him on the list and get our filter up. Visca. We know that he can smash. He can smash. But I did have him and I sold him. Matson. Yeah, he do alright, but he's not a team that I want to be playing for. So, I'm not going to get into the forwards, guys, because I know that I've been on here for nearly 2 hours and probably boring the shit out of some people. But let's take a final look at challenger midfielders, and then we'll call it a night, right? So who have I now got in the list? Midfielder and challenger. So this is who I've got. You accept I'm not going to buy. Get off my list. Stengs, I'm just monitoring price. Tadic is appearing in there, but I'd get his forward card. Julian Dessart, no, because you don't spike enough, so get out. Bakasetas, you worry me now if you've not signed a new deal, but I am going to monitor your price, so you can stay. Armani's in there for a cheap option. I'll probably get him as a Cap 240 player at some point. So from a smasher point of view, it's Gedson or Hanneken. But if I get Vanaken, then I've got no more money. I could get a Fernandez at a decent price and then an Ndai and go from there, boys. I think that's the right move. Ndai for a Cap 240, and it makes sense because I compare him with the new forward, and then Gedson as a smasher in decent lineups. Maybe that's the call. Maybe that's them for now from my budget, and then from a forward point of view, I know we said we wouldn't touch on it, but just looking at my list in here, then maybe from a forward point of view, it's this guy, or maybe I go Ndai and Coito, and then going back into my saved lineups, I put Ndai in here and maybe Coito in there as well, and he takes the place of Shanot. Maybe do that. Maybe do that. Maybe do that. Maybe do that. And he expired. Who's this? Ant again. All right. Well, let's see if Ant comes back to me. I'll leave it there, lads. But I appreciate you joining me on this beautiful evening. Yeah. I'll let you know on Twitter tomorrow. If you don't follow me at the Parrot Press, go and hit a follow, and then I'll show you as to what's going on. And hopefully, in the meantime, this little fella, Ant FC, gets back to me, and then Ndai makes his way into the gallery, and we'll go from there. Been a pleasure, boys. Take care. Have a good evening and all of that, and I'll see you in the future. Ta-da!